I got chased by a figure that had no face in Kedah Matriculation College. And this was only one of the 4 things that happened to me while I was there. Hey guys, it's nice to see you all again. I know it's been long, but the past months have been pretty tough for me. I'm working on my own business with my wife, and I've been spending a lot more time on TikTok. You can watch what I've been up to here. This story of the 4 incidents in a matriculation college in Kedah was actually submitted to me by a fan on Instagram. She loves my videos and wanted to share her experience with us all. So without any more draggy, boring talks, let's get into it. But before we do, you need to know a little about the girl who contacted me. In 2020, this girl, who prefers to remain anonymous, studied at the Matriculation College in Kedah. She stayed at block B1 on the 3rd floor, where most of the rooms were empty. Like most of these colleges in Malaysia, the restrooms are separate from the rooms the students will live in. Her nearest restroom was 3 rooms away from her room, which is considered pretty close, but definitely an eerie walk if you're alone at night in an almost empty floor. And so she began to tell her first incident. She encountered her first paranormal experience. After finishing a group discussion with friends in her room, most of them left, leaving only her and her roommate. She continued to study up until about 1 a.m. when she felt the need to use the restroom. She got up and went alone. As she walked back from the restroom, she heard someone call her name. Right at that moment, when she was about to turn around and look, she felt a touch on her right shoulder. She had a gut feeling that something was not right. Without looking, she headed straight back to her room. Trying to forget what happened, she headed to bed and went to sleep, telling herself, well, it was nothing. The next day, shortly after waking up, she noticed that her right shoulder was swollen and painful. This couldn't have been her imagination. During the same week, she left her room during the night when she felt that something was off in the corridor outside her room. She felt something was different and rather strange, like there was a presence of some sort. It was the kind of strange that would give you the chills. She felt scared. The hallway was dark, empty, and eerie. She didn't even have the courage to take another step forward. She stopped, turned around, and went back to her room. She closed the door behind her when she had the shock of her life. As soon as the door closed, something big hit the door, leaving a loud bang. Too scared to even open the door and check, she locked it and dared not to leave her room at that night. Never knowing what it could have been, she waited patiently until morning. After a long normal day filled with assessments, she and her friend went to the next block to take a shower due to a water shortage at her block. They went up the 3rd floor of the neighboring block, where it's most vacant. This way they had more privacy in the restrooms and can take their time showering. It was late at night, leaving only the 2 girls in the bathroom. Her friend finished before her and had just left the restroom, leaving her alone inside. She was at the sink when she bent down to wash her face. She felt a painful hit on her back that caused her to fall directly into the sink. Now she screamed for her friend. Her friend rushed in, asking what happened. Her friend explained that she left moments ago and was waiting outside for her. She did nothing. Confused on what happened, it couldn't have possibly been anyone since no one else was around her. She asked herself, then who was it? Since her 3rd incident, she hasn't had any experiences for a while, thinking it stopped. On a particular night, she headed to the ATM that was about 20 minutes walk away from her dorm. Having a personal emergency, she needed an ATM immediately. Without reason, she went there by herself. Now, in order for her to get there, she had to pass by the examination hall that is strictly secured, allowing no access after hours. Yet she noticed someone was walking on the 2nd floor. Too engrossed in her emergency, she didn't think much about it and walked on. She reached the ATM and handled her issues, but her walk back would alter her perception of reality. She passed by the same building when she noticed a dark, foggy figure. It was far from her, but it started coming closer and closer. As far-fetched as it might sound, but it looked like it was coming from under the building, as though it was growing larger over seconds. It was coming towards her. Scared to death, she walked as fast as she could, trying to run away from whatever she saw. With every step she took, she feared for her life. She heard a woman's voice. It was the security guard. She asked what she was doing alone at this hour and told her what happened. The guard willingly accompanied her back to her room. These are the exact words the girl told me. If she wasn't there, the security guard, I don't know what would have happened to me. Closing in on her finals, she would mostly spend her days at her friend's room for a group study. While she was there, she realized she forgot a book in her room, so her friends accompanied her back to her room to get the book. Being late at night and just the three of them in the hallway, they reached her room, but she left her keys in her friend's room. So they had this strategy where one of them waited outside her room, another at the middle of the hall while she walked back to her friend's room. She got her key, walked out when she felt an itch on the right parts of her body. She looked towards her friend waiting for her in the middle, and she stood in shock. She saw something dark, tall and black standing behind her friend. In fear, she closed her eyes, but in bravery, she walked towards her friend and forced her friend to head straight to her room without saying a single word. The next day, she woke up with huge scar on her right parts of her body, mainly her hand, her waist and her leg. She says that this was the last encounter she faced while she was there. Today, she has completed her studies at the college and nothing has happened to her since. She also told me that she wasn't the only one who faced these horrific moments. Other students have also said to have seen something circling their room during the middle of the night, the sounds of crying and the eerie feeling of something watching them. If you are a student at this college, she has some advice for you. Number one, don't roam around at night. Don't go alone to the restroom at night. Don't question everything you see at campus. There will be some empty rooms at the hostel, so please don't go inside. Some might be locked, or once you enter, you might get locked up inside. Avoid going to the cubicle, administration's office, library staircase, which leads to language lab, water tank, lecturer's residence beside bamboo corner after 7 p.m. If you feel something suspicious, don't explore it, just leave it as it is and go back to your room. If you see anything weird, just pretend you didn't. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and tell me your story here in the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram at Wise Defies. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok for some really interesting topics and for daily uploads. This is Wise Defies, and thanks for watching.